What's going on, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers? Is your boy Puerto Rock 77. Give me a second while I check out the acoustics. Make sure that this sounds right and all that stuff. I want to make sure. Yeah, it sounded good. All right. So what's going on, people? This is your boy Puerto Rock 77, and I'm back with another video. This is fantastic. This is unplanned live video. This is not the podcast. Let me set this up real quick. Gain a little bit. Yeah. Sound good? Oh, appreciate it, Danny. Thank you so much. What's up, chat? What's going on? I like doing sometimes this is how I started out my channel. I started out doing live videos. I called it podcast, but it wasn't really a podcast because I had nobody else on it. Let me set a couple of things up here real quick. Let me pop out the chat so that way I could see it better. There we go. Chat's popped out. It's good. It's looking good. And boom. All right. So what's up, everybody? Let me give my shout outs to you guys because you guys are awesome. I truly appreciate everything you guys do. So, all right. For today, you know what I'm saying? What's up? PlayStation Greatness was good. Awesome name. Danny Stab, Garuda, what's up? Thomas Han, what's up? All day, my man. What's good? I'm going to war on Twitter. Then you hold that shit down. You hold it down, brother. Spectre, what's up? Craig, the Messiah is here. Ruham, what's good, brother? Jackknife, dope. Thomas Han again, Triggers. And the Arvania, my man, what's up? Dope Gaming, Savage. Ryan, man. DT Roof. Chris Krover, Ahmed-san. You know what I'm saying? Garada. Oh, and of course, Infurious One. My man's up in here again. He's gonna come in and talk about the soupy textures. Disinfectamine, Quants. You know what I'm saying? Quantez, the gamer, Trickstar, little deviant, Trickstar. My man said, "Fuck PlayStation." guys are. My man Trickstar said, Voodoo remaster versus Shadow of Colossus remake. Nothing but facts. Oh, it said prick is pronounced truth. I'm sorry, my bad. So let me see. My bad. He said prick. Oh, it's pronounced truth. So the D silent? All right, so I learned. Okay. I thought you got mad at me. So the D silent? I didn't know that. All right, truth. All right, I got it. All right, D silent. I didn't know that. That's new to me. All right. So what's up, man? What's up, people? How's everybody doing? Please make sure you hit the like button so we could get this party started. Get everybody here. Oh, here we go. Furious One with his bullshit again. Poor pathetic pony boys only have soupy looking. Yo, it's hilarious because Homeboy Furious One got played. I forgot who it was, but a Twitter user was showing a bunch of pictures of Gran Turismo GT5. And the Furious One was like saying soupy, soupy, soupy. So then the guy showed him a picture of Forza on the Xbox One X version. And he came out soupy. And then he showed him the whole picture where it said Forza Motorsport. Yo, that shit was funny. I saved that. I screenshotted that one. My man Kingsman, what's up? Kingsman. Hell yeah, I'm going to get God of War. No doubt. Savage, what's up? Yo, but that was funny. The truth. All right, got it. I see what you did there. The truth. Got it. My man, nice. Rambo, what's up? Yo, that dude in Furious One, that was hilarious when he said Forza 7 looks soupy. Yo, what up, Merc? What's good? Yo, that was funny, man. Yo, that was pretty funny. Like, dude caught him good. But anyway, it was funny though. And Furious One is all love, right? We all here shooting the shit. Brian Stahlberg, he flatlined last night. All right. Yo, it's looking, guys. Let's see. What's the room looking like right now? Got 46 watching. Not bad. You know what I'm saying? Probably a lot of podcasts. This was unplanned and stuff like that. But make sure you hit the like button right now. Retweet it out so we can get more people in the conversation. But I'll start out with Red Dead 2 links. I'll start that out. I'll start talking about it. All right. So on my phone, I'm going to keep it quick and simple. I'm not going to go through all the boring details and stuff like that. But we all know it's going to have online mode, right? It's gonna have an online mode, but I think the biggest surprise out of all of it was rumors of it potentially. What's up, Corey Dillon? What's good, Sam Walton? Thank you for showing up. Appreciate it. So the big rumor is it potentially having kind of like a PUBG mode, a battle royale mode, which would be kind of crazy because if you look at Grand Theft Auto, now granted, Grand Theft Red Dead Redemption is not as popular as Grand Theft Auto, but it's still a huge franchise, especially when Red Dead Redemption came out. All right, so this game having a battle royale mode first probably is a huge way to get super duper sales because I guarantee everybody was going to get Red Dead Redemption regardless. But now the battle royale mode could potentially just make this game like another Grand Theft Auto 5, where it just sells ridiculous and it will always be in the top 10 sales month after month after month for the next 2, 3, 4 years. We probably won't see another Rockstar game till, what is it, 2018? Now probably won't see one till like 2024. I mean 2021, 22 or some crap like that. Be like 4 or 5 years till we see the next one. So that will be insane with them having that. Now, of course, seen a couple of tweets. People ask me, what if the mode is true and it's timed exclusive on the PlayStation platform? What do you think about that, Porter? I would say highly unlikely in that case. Only because if Rockstar did create this mode for Red Dead Redemption, it's because they're looking at tremendous bulk volume sales. They're looking at sales to match, or at least be close to what they did with Grand Theft Auto 5. I think they got the sights beyond what they did with the other Red Dead Redemptions, and I think they got the sights beyond the past Grand Theft Autos. I think the new metric for Rockstar is what Grand Theft Auto 5, which to me is kind of dangerous. Because to me, while Grand Theft Auto 5 is unreal in terms of what it did, just completely, I mean, 70 million sales, that is bananas. That is just insane. And I guarantee he's way over that by now. I don't think that's something you can easily repeat again and keep expecting to do it over and over and over. I just don't see that, you know. I don't want to say it's a fluke, but in a way, it's just a huge thing. Like, I don't think Grand Theft Auto 6 will repeat what Grand Theft Auto 5 did. I think because Grand Theft Auto 5 had a great online and stuff like that, everybody bought it. But I think it's going to be fatigued, maybe. If you keep doing it to every franchise, it's going to be a little fatigued. I hope Rockstar don't have that expectation of Red Dead Redemption, but I have a feeling by them including, or if they do include this Battle Royale mode, is because they want huge, big numbers of this. And it's going to be interesting to see how it works. Another rumor is a first-person view mode or first-person mode. So I guess gunslinging fight. Maybe you could play the whole game. Well, isn't Grand Theft Auto 5, you could play that game in first person anyway? Chat, help me out. Because I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 5 in a while. But doesn't Grand Theft Auto 5 already have first person view mode? Let's see if anybody can answer that. Like, you could play the game in first person already, right? Let's see. Maybe there's a delay. Yes. All right. So many people answered yes, yes, yeah. So that leak I think is credible because Grand Theft Auto 5 already does it. So it's really not that, far fetched to play that. If they have it day one, I don't know how I would play the game. If I would play the game in first person view mode, if I would play, you know what? I think I would. If they have Red Dead Redemption first person view mode, I would play in first person view mode only because it would be the first time I actually played a Grand Theft Auto game like that, and it would just be interesting to see how that whole first person view mode would play out. So yeah, I think I would try that. But I don't think PUBG. It would be crazy if somehow Sony managed to get this time exclusive due to the marketing deals. I don't think it was that because number one, when Sony got the marketing rights to this game, it was a while ago, and PUBG wasn't the big thing. Battle Royale wasn't the big thing at the time when the ink dried on the paper. But you never know. Things could change. Modes could happen. Maybe Rockstar approached Sony with a new idea. A lot of things could happen. But I say highly unlikely with that. But I think, again, first-person view mode, definitely. Will be interesting to see how this PUBG mode, Battle Royale mode will work in Red Dead Redemption. But I'm overall excited. It's crazy comes out in October, so you know everybody's clearing out their schedules because that's the game to buy. You know, that's the game to buy in October is Red Dead Redemption, which brings me to a segue to that, which makes me wonder about Sony's first party lineup, specifically Days Gone. So we all know God of War comes out in April, right? Quantic Dream confirmed Detroit become human is scheduled for spring. It will release in the spring. Now, officially, spring ends. Spring goes all the way up to June 20th because June 21st is actually, the summer solstice, the official start of summer. Officially according to season. So if they play that game, they could release the game anywhere from May to June, right? I don't see them releasing Detroit Become Human in May, given how close it is to God of War's release date, because God of War comes out April 20th. So towards the end of the month, right? Which means they want the sales to bleed over into May. So you're looking at most likely June for Detroit. If you got June for Detroit, then you have July, August, September. We're not including October. July, August, September for Spider-Man and Days Gone, right? I don't see them putting Spider-Man in July too close to Detroit. They want to give Detroit a little bit of breathing room. It's their first party IP. So now you're looking at August, right? The earliest for Spider-Man, right? Which means you can't put Days Gone immediately after Spider-Man and right before Red Dead Redemption. That doesn't work. So that slot's not good. So now you bump it over to November? Hell no. You're not going to see a Sony first party big first party title in November because they got the Call of Duty deal. They pay for it. They want that game to sell. Sony makes money off it. They want it to sell consoles, custom pro consoles, custom slim consoles. You know those, show bang. We already know this. So then that leaves December, right? But if the game already passed the holiday season, if already passed November, October, then what would be the point of releasing Days Gone in December when people will still be buying Call of Duty and Battlefield and whatever? So then you might as well just delay it until early 2019, like January, February timeframe. Like February is when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, right? And it did phenomenal. So, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to see Days Gone this year simply because financially, not because of development. I know I got into conversations on Twitter about development cycles. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with Sony maximizing the amount of sales each game has without bumping heads. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to bump heads with Red Dead Redemption because they got the marketing rights. They want that game to sell. Expect to see custom consoles or at least a pack-in bundle with Red Dead Redemption. They don't want to bump heads with Call of Duty in November either. And they don't want their own first party. Okay. And I know people are like, well, people who are interested in Spider-Man or interested in Detroit are not the same user. No. A lot of us are the same users. A lot of the hardcore are going to buy all these titles. Okay. The only question is, do a lot of us have the money to buy two games in a short window span? So Sony wants to give a little bit of breathing room so you can buy your games, all of them. They don't want you to pick one or the other. They don't want you to choose Detroit over Spider-Man or Spider-Man Detroit. They want you to choose both. Now, for those of you that are like, well, I'm not going to buy both anyway, fine. You're going to get Spider-Man regardless of when Sony releases it. So they're not really concerned with the Spider-Man only fan base or the Detroit only fan base or the Days Gone only fan base. And that's the only game they're going to buy. They're not concerned with those users because you're going to get the game when it releases no matter what. What they're concerned about is people like me, people like you in the chat and everybody who will buy all these games. And the only limiting factor is, do you have the money to buy all these games? So they're going to space them out to where you just focus your $60 or whatever on this one game. And then you wait a while. And now you wait for this game. You could get your Red Dead. You could get your Call of Duty. You could get your Spider-Man. You could get your Detroit. So all of us that will buy all these games has the opportunity to buy all of them instead of picking and choosing based on what we want to spend because that's all the money we have available at that point in time. Sony does not want that. For those who aren't going to buy Spider-Man, it's going to come out when it's going to come out. For those who only plan to buy Days Gone and don't care about anything else, you're going to get it when you get it. But for those who's going to buy everything, Sony's going to make sure to maximize the opportunity to do that. That's why. So it's interesting it's interesting to see how Days Gone fits into this scenario. You know, it's really something's got to give, something's got to break. You know, one of these games ain't gonna have. If I were to pick a game that's gonna have the least amount of time to itself, it will be Detroit Human. If they release Detroit Human in May, which will put it too close to God of War, but oh well. Now you have Spider-Man in June, and then Days Gone in September. You know, or you know what I'm saying? That's about the only way I can see it. Um, MLB the show comes out in March. I don't think March is a. I don't think MLB's an annual game that comes out annually. So I don't think Sony really includes that because it's a baseball game. It's a unique baseball game, and it's really the only baseball game you could play that's good on any platform. So it's gonna sell no matter what, simply because it's in a unique scenario. It's kind of like Madden, you know, in NBA 2K. It's the best thing, and it's only available where you could get it. Yeah, definitely, especially with Babe Ruth. Y'all saw that? Fantastic. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. You know, it makes me want to play some today. I love the game. I absolutely love it. I always love baseball games. Of course that. What's up, Jackknife and everybody else? Who else showed up in the chat? You know, thank you so much for joining the chat, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate talking to you guys. All right, we got 85 people watching. We got 32 likes. Please hit the like button. I would appreciate it if you know, because those things help out. All right, retweet it, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy. So let's go on to the next topic. What I want to talk about: God of War. Why do I put GOW? Why I put God of War? All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I have no concern about God of War not having a jump button. I think it's stupid. I think it's hate. I know some people would be like, "Oh, it's not hate. You're just a Sony sucker." And no, I'm gonna tell you why I think it's nothing but fabricated hate. I could understand if the new God of War had the gameplay of the old God of War, right? And they removed the jump button. That would be a problem because the old gameplay, you need the jump button to traverse, to platform, to get places. If you remove the jump button in that game, it's broken. That would literally break the game. It would be an unplayable game because there'll be places you can't even go or reach. The game wouldn't even make sense. That's understandable. But this God of War is completely new. New gameplay. Everything is new. Nothing's the same. The only thing that's similar to the reminiscent to the old God of War is the character himself and maybe the chain blades. But the fighting, the combat mechanics, you know, the overall gameplay, everything is different. It's a totally different game. So how is this game not having a jump button a problem when it's a totally new revised game? I really don't understand. It's not the old game. What's up, Lex? What's going on, brother? You know, think about that. They're complaining over a button, over a mechanic for a game that is completely new in terms of gameplay. It's new gameplay. How can you complain about something when you haven't played the game? That doesn't make sense. My man said Cody doesn't have a jump button. Man, listen, please respect the members who play on Xbox. Nah, I'm just kidding. You know, but think about that. How can you complain about a gameplay mechanic on a game you never played? Oh, but the old God of War, you're right. If they remove the jump button on the old God of War, that's a problem. Because we know how the gameplay is and we know how important having a jump button in those old God of War games are. But this is a new God of War, completely new gameplay. So how is a jump button even relevant at all? It's a totally different game. That's why I have no concern with God of War jump button, because the jump button don't fit in this game. It's a totally different gameplay. It's irrelevant for this game. What's done is done. The old God of Wars have nothing to do with the new vision of this God of War. Now, I'm not saying the new vision is going to be great. I think it's going to be great. I hope it is great. But the absolute fact is it's different. It's completely different. What we did in the past doesn't apply now to include the jump button. It's a new gameplay, new mechanics, new everything. So how is Jump a big deal? It's fabricated hate. It's fabricated concern. It doesn't even make sense. You know, if this is what you got, if this is what people are nitpicking on, people are nitpicking more about the lack of jump button than they do. I don't know. Let me just. It's just. I'm gonna say this now. I have no issues. My man Sonny G, I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing fantastic. I'm here with you guys. Games Over HD. What's up? You know, random guy. Thank you for welcome aboard. You know, Corey Dillon. What's good? Hey, Girl Bear. Let's be honest. P-Rock, let's be honest. You would jump on Atreus' head all day. What do you think? Is Mario and shit? Treat him like a turtle? You know? But hey, I really don't know. OG John, I don't really know. I don't know how this uproar about a lack of A button on a game no one has played yet. And none of us has played it. So how can you complain about a game mechanic that has that? And I will say this, I'm going to be honest. Any person, what's up, Brock? When you leave into Germany, I'm out of here in March. I'll be heading out there. So in March, there's going to be a little dwell time, a little dark time till I get myself set up. It'll probably be 2 weeks before I could do anything. Maybe I'll do something on my phone, but you'll still catch me on Twitter, whatever. All right? What's going on, Thomas Han? How's everybody doing? Noof Nukem, what's good? Hey, shit, what's up, Noof? How's everything, brother? All right? So as far as God of War, none of us have played it. Totally new game mechanics. I don't see how a jump button is even relevant at all. Doesn't make sense. All right. Next topic. Here we go. Shadow of Colossus. Pretty weird. I see a lot of people annoyed at Shadow of Colossus getting good reviews, which is weird. Why would anybody be annoyed with games getting good reviews? Like, I seen games that I didn't like at all got good reviews, but I'm like, whatever. You know, I'd be like, I didn't like it, I move on. But there's some people that are disgusted with gamers having conversations about Shadow of Colossus remake. Good to hear, Noof. Glad you're doing good. Here's my thing. Let's address the elephant in the room. All right, a lot of people are not happy that Sony remakes a lot of games because they feel that's the reason why PlayStation 4 doesn't have backwards compatibility. That instead of providing you the ability to play the games you already own, Sony's reselling them as remasters to make money off you. And some people feel that's anti-consumer and stuff like that. All right? While Xbox, you can play the games you already own and they get enhanced, you know, with better visuals, better frame rate and stuff like that. I get that. I understand that. I get the point. You understand? Xbox has a feature that allows gamers to play their games, and they did it in a way to where the games get improved. PlayStation doesn't have backwards compatibility. A lot of these games are being remastered or remake. In this case, this is a remaster of a remake of an original game. I got it. I understand both sides of the coin. All right? All right? But here's the ultimate thing. For the people who did buy Shadow of the Colossus remake, right? For the people that have issues with Shadow of Colossus, right? For the people that went out and bought it, did it come out of your bank account? No, it didn't. They didn't use your money. So that's it. Some people who bought it love it. You know, some people say they prefer a full-blown remake with trophy support and all that stuff than to have a compatible game where, granted, it's better looking graphics, but it's not a Bloom remake. So meaning the collision effects, the physics, the animation is still the same. No trophy support or no achievement support. Some people would rather buy a remake of an old game that's built from the ground up or whatever, or close to it, include trophies or include achievements, new animations, all that stuff. You know, build the game up, you know, completely. Some people prefer that. And you know what? Nobody's wrong on that. I'm going to tell you, nobody's wrong on that. Why? Because it's preference. You know, some people don't like rebuying a game they already own. They want to play the game they already own, and a resolution bump, you know, stuff like that is good enough for them and they're happy. Those users are not wrong. For the users that don't like that, they don't like just a resolution bump. They want to play a classic game, but built from the ground up, new animations, new physics, textures, new everything. Like, make a game, take a game from 15 years ago and build it up to today's standards. People prefer that. They're not wrong, right? Shout out to Ralph Reliquious, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the support and showing up here. Xbox fanboys complain about one and done games, but 90% of the backwards compatible games are also one and done. It is what it is. To me, one and done games is also a fanboy. It's just a straight up fanboy mantra, because the way I see it, I don't see how it's possible if you only play multiplayer games. Like, one, if you made multiplayer games, you really enjoy multiplayer games, you're probably not playing a lot of games. You're probably playing that one or two games and you're playing it all the time. Like Grand Theft Auto. You could play Grand Theft Auto forever. You could play Call of Duty forever. You could play PUBG forever. You could play months after months and months. And I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. But why are you knocking people who play single player games that move on from experience to experience? That's why now more than ever in this gen, like last gen, got me fatigued on multiplayer. Got me fatigued because I played a lot of multiplayer games. I was playing Call of Duty a lot. It was just getting insane, But I noticed I missed out on a lot of experiences. I'm back to my old self where I play a lot more different games, different experiences. I'm playing RPGs, Japanese RPGs, action games, horror games. I'm just playing a slew of experiences. And believe it or not, I'm having more fun this gen than I did last gen. Last gen I had fun, but it was mostly because of certain games I was playing over and over and over. And I'm worrying about, and when I look back, I worried about shit that really didn't change. I worried about kill-death ratios. I worried about win-loss as a team, gaining points and prestiging. I would play Call of Duty back to back to back. And now I look back, I didn't really do anything different from one Call of Duty to another. I repeated the same thing. I was just going for kill-death ratios, wins, prestige. And then the new Call of Duty come out. Kill-death ratios, wins, prestige. New Call of Duty come out. Kill-death ratios, wins, I didn't really experience much. That's one of the reasons why I started late when I bought a PS4. I bought the PS4 in 2015. Why? Because I realized when the PS4 launched how far behind I was in experiences on the PlayStation 3 because of the Call of Duty, because of the multiplayer, because of the co-op. It kept me away from a lot of games. So I spent those 2 years, 2013, 2014, and early 2015, catching up to PS3 games that I would have been asked out and missing, and experiences I would have missed. So this gen, I wasn't dedicating myself to multiplayer. I'm just not. Only a few multiplayer games I played, but for the most part, I'm enjoying going from one game to another because just of the vast experiences and things like that, And, I don't really care about the look of the game, whatever. I just give it a try. And, obviously it has to interest me, But like now, this year, I'm so interested in so many indies, like Hong Kong Massacre. I'm so looking forward to that. Lost Soul Aside, I think that's a game that's going to come out next year, but I'm so looking forward to that. There's a lot of games that, that's interesting, I just want experiences. I want to play in different worlds, do different things, have different genres that I like, and that's it, So that's just what it is. My man Daniel J, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Daniel J said, heard rumors about a battle royale mode for Red Dead Redemption 2. If true, because of the Sony marketing deal, could that be I just talked about that in the beginning of the podcast. But just to recap real quick, since you answered the question, and I appreciate your support. I don't think it's going to be time exclusive, as I said before, only because if they have that mode in, they're looking for Red Dead Redemption to sell bigly, as President Trump will say. It's going to be huge, right? And to be that huge like Grand Theft Auto, you need every platform for the game to sell on every platform. So I highly doubt it if it's true, but let's say in a small chance Sony found a way to make this mode exclusive. Ooh, there's going to be some Twitter warring. There's going to be some huge Twitter warring going on Twitter, right? Anyway, back to what I was talking about with Shadow of Colossus. At the end of the day, you speak with your wallets. You know, if you prefer backwards compatibility, don't buy the remasters. You know, show them that you support backwards compatibility, it's consumer friendly, yada yada yada, all that stuff. If you support the remasters, if you prefer your game to be remastered or even more so remake, because you want the game to be up to date, you just don't want to play the old game and just make it look better, then buy your remakes. At the end of the day, are you enjoying the games? Are you enjoying what you get out of your console? That's the reality of that. Uh, I just found it weird that there was a lot of people annoyed with Shadow of Colossus. I'll put it to you this way: if you never played the game, um, you need to play the game. And this is probably the best way to play it with the remake. If you never played Shadow of Colossus and you have a PlayStation 4, you owe it to yourself to play that game. And I know you may see the stream and be like, you don't do nothing. All you do is go from Colossi to Colossi. There's no battles in between. I'm just telling you, I don't know what it is about that game. But when I played on PlayStation 2, it was just one of the best experiences I played. It's absolutely amazing being able to battle all these bosses, the Colossi. It's fantastic. It's nothing like you're gonna play. You're never gonna play another game like that. I'm just telling you. You're never gonna play another game like that. There will never be another game like that. If you never played it, in fact, I'm almost jealous. Sometimes I wish I could like just wipe out my memory of when I play Shadow of Colossus and be like, oh, let me try this game and just experience that game all over again. I'm telling you, you will never play another game like that. It is absolutely fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. It's simple, but it's so challenging, and you just believe me, when you defeat all the Colossi, you're gonna look and be like, it's a tale of David and Goliath, and you get to do it over and over and over. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. If you have a PlayStation 4, get that game. You know, especially now that they remade it and it's beautiful looking, animations are better, smoother. Because I'm gonna tell you, that game was way too big for the PS2. I mean, that game was running like at 20 frames on the PS2. It was very ambitious for that game. Wow, you know, very ambitious, and you just owe it to yourself on that one. All right. So let's see what I got here. While I'm looking through the 135 watching, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to hit the like button. Now we're going to get into the juicy part, the last part. Now, of course, if you have questions, start typing them in now. And then after I get through this last topic, I'll address your questions. Hopefully, I could address your questions. I have the answers. All right. But my last part, listening to the annual Sony is Doomed podcasts from some of my favorite podcasters on YouTube. It's hilarious because it's almost like clockwork that they do this. But the funny part is when they do it, they're using the same information from back in 2014. You know? So recently, you know, both Microsoft and Sony, you know, they put out their financial reports and stuff, right? And both companies did phenomenal. Both companies had amazing gaming revenue sales. Microsoft reported, I think, $3.8 billion in revenue, and Sony reported $7 billion in revenue for gaming. This is just strictly gaming, right? But for whatever reason, every year when these reports come out, they only address what happened in 2014 and 2012. Like, are you guys, like, literally, they still talking about when Sony sold off their property. That was like 4 years. That was like 4 years ago. What's up, JE? What's good? What's up, Corey? You know? But they're still talking about when Sony sold their buildings to keep the light on, whatever. I'm like, holy shit, you guys been saying that for 4 years. Like, how many buildings have these dudes sold? Like, they're still selling buildings? Pierre said, do you think PS4 will sell over 100 million? Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100 million, that's easy. That's happening. I mean, that's 73. If they sell 17 million this year, they'll be at 90. So, yeah. And that's lowballing. That's like selling less than what they did. Yeah. But it's funny. They bring this up It's just like clockwork. It's almost like clockwork. It starts out with Sony Financial comes out. Then they talk about how they were junk bond status. They were losing money. The divisions. They had to get rid of divisions. The PC division sucked. They had to sell buildings just to keep the light on. And then they somehow tailor it to Sony has to do stuff with PlayStation because they're in trouble. With the same information from 2014. Never mind that the recent quarter, just this past quarter of October, November, December, the gaming revenue just for gaming is $7 billion in gaming revenue. Now, to put that in context, in that same quarter, Microsoft's gaming revenue is 3.8 billion. Now, I'm not saying Microsoft sucks or whatever. That's not the point. What I'm trying to say is, if Microsoft's gaming revenue of 3.8 billion in that quarter is considered phenomenal, then how is 7 billion Sony in trouble? I'm not saying either company's in trouble. Both companies did phenomenal. They're making money, which is good. And I know some people are like, well, why do you care about them making money? It's because they could get to make games. It costs money to make games. Games cost money, if you haven't realized. It ain't free. And they sure as hell not using food stamps. So big gaming revenue means they can invest in games and make more games, which is good. That's why sales matters. Let them make the revenue. You know, Microsoft making $3.8 billion in 3 months is fantastic. You know, because they have no excuse to make games and to hire people to make games and stuff like that. They have the money, they're getting the money, they're getting the revenue. Sony made about $7 billion. They have the money to make more games. They have the money to invest in more games. That is fantastic. You know, what's a good movie to watch on the basic bitch? Go to Netflix and watch Cloverfield Paradox, I guess. Oh, man. You know, but they're making money. All right, you're an analyst. You know, I think I might have. You get a PSVR? Yeah, I might end up getting a PSVR. Definitely. After a while, too many people. I'm hearing too many good things about it. Too many, you know. In fact, I don't want to get up, but I have Resident Evil 7, right? And I have not played it yet, and I had it for months already. Right? Why? Because I will play that game 100% in VR. That's the only way I want to experience that game, and that is the only way I'm going to play that game. Now, of course, I'm probably going to put it in my PlayStation. I haven't even put the disc in the PlayStation yet. So who knows what updates are up there, but I'm going to make sure it gets fully updated. But I will play that game in VR mode. My man Infamous, let me look at some questions right here. Infamous says, how much do I think the Pissy 5 will cost? I'll say this. A lot of people are looking at $500. This is just me. I'm thinking Sony's going to stick with the $400 mark. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? This is why I think it's going to stick. Oh, my man. Lionel, what's going on, brother? You know what I'm saying? $10 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. He put New Year, so let's go out and try new genres and games we don't normally play. Except for Sea of Thieves. I don't condone garbage. So go pick up Shadow of Colossus. You know, oh man, you know. Yo, my man Lionel's vicious, man. You're brutal, bro. Rock trying to sell some food stamps, trying to save up PR. That's what I'm doing, you know, and collect cans. You gotta collect them cans. All right. Here's the thing. What was I at? Shit, y'all made me lose my train of thought. Oh, PSVR, definitely gonna get it. All right, definitely. Okay. Now back to the topic. I don't understand what is it with every year Sony is doomed, right? If you actually paid attention. Oh, the $400. I'm sorry. Okay, $400 console with $15 profit will be underpowered. Here's my thing. All right, I'm gonna tell you, Infurious One. The components to make the console powerful. It's not coming out in 2019. I can tell you that much. You're looking at a console at 2020, 2021, right? The components that's going to make this console more powerful than what we have now are not going to cost a lot of money, right? they'll still be able to build it for $400 and customize it. And remember, it's parts that are off the shelf. It's not like they're gonna order brand new GPUs, CPUs. Okay, I mean even now, a Ryzen CPU and a Ryzen and the Vega GPU is more powerful than what the Xbox has. All right, the only difference is it's expensive right now, but in 3-4 years, Ryzen and Vega is not going to be expensive at all. Right? At least not for them to manufacture a console, because there's going to be cheap parts right off the shelf. So you'll be able to create. And keep in mind, next year's next generation console is still going to be 4K. Now, if you're talking trying to make a console that does 8K, all right, you're going to need a $500-$600 console. Looking at. But I think they're going to focus on 4K. I know a lot of people are placing their bets on 60 frames. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're still going to get a lot of 4K 30 games, because you could bump up the graphics and all and make the game look real pretty of 30 frames. I'm not advocating for that. I'm not saying it shouldn't be that way. I'm not saying that 60 frames shouldn't be the norm. I wish it was the norm, but I'm just being a realist. Xbox One X right now with Polaris and Jaguar architecture, they're doing a decent job of 4K gaming. You still have checkerboarding, you still have dynamic rendering and all that stuff. But given that it's Polaris and Jaguar architecture, not too bad for what it's doing. Imagine you drop a Ryzen Vega in the box, but we're talking 3-4 years from now. We're talking, no, I ain't gonna say 3-4. I ain't gonna say 4 years. Let's say 2021, 2020, 2021, 2 to 3 years from now. Vega and Ryzen are gonna be a lot cheaper, and you'll be able to hit 4K much more often, especially at 30 with a Vega and a Ryzen in the box. That's just my opinion. Now, why do I think P-Rock, did you buy Shadow of Colossus? No, I didn't buy the remake because I played it originally on PS2, so I didn't buy it. So why do I think $400, not $500? All right, it's a business move. I'm gonna tell you why I think it's a business move. Because the key to selling your console, right, is how fast you can get the console to under $300. That's the key. How fast can you get the console down to $250? I don't care how powerful it is. A $500 console is still a $500 console. It's going to be a slow burner. A $400 console is a $400 console, slow burner. When these consoles reach $300 and less, that's when they truly take off. Just take, for example, this year. Sony sold 20 million consoles, and it was because it was $199, and you were able to get a $50 gift certificate. That's the key. How fast can you drop the price to get them sales skyrocketing? The lower the price point you start at, the faster you get down to below 300. If you start out 500, it's going to take a while to get down to below 300. Even if you do an incremental $50 a year like clockwork. So imagine the consoles come out in, let's say, in 2020. So 2020, $500, right? Then a year later, 2021, they're not going to get a price drop the first year. So it's $500 again, right? So that's year one. 2022, $450. 2023, $400. 2024, $350. 2025, $300. 5 years to get to $300. 5 years just to get to $300. Now compare that to what we have now this gen. Sony already sold 73 million consoles in 4 years. They can't wait 5 years to drop the price of the PlayStation 5 to the point where you get mass market consumer purchases. That's too long. So I think until $500 becomes the $400 acceptable price, I don't think that's going to happen over the next 2 years. I think over the next 2 years, $400 is still going to be the acceptable price drop. And if Microsoft decides to launch a console the same year for $500 but more powerful, now you're talking performance to power ratio, and who's going to win? But I'm going to tell you, the advantage is going to be Sony because they'll be able to drop the price lower and faster than the $500 box. So I'm not sure if Microsoft is going to try to release another $500 console. Sorry about that for bumping. We'll see how that goes. All right, Porak, you don't sound Spanish. You sound hardcore black. Do I really? That's a first. Some dudes be calling me Juan Valdez and shit like that. Interesting. Now Next thing. So again, the annual Sony's doomed. If people really were interested in this topic and they actually read what Sony's done, the entire company is profitable. Now, I don't really care about the rest of the company of Sony. Like, I'm indifferent. I don't really care about the cameras. I don't even buy Sony TVs. The only Sony product I buy is the PlayStation. That's really it. So I really don't care. But I am from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. Um, what I was saying, I don't really care for the cameras and lenses. Sony has a lot of other stuff. But I will say this. And what's funny is, if you just paid attention over the last 4 years, you'll realize that PlayStation in the gaming part of Sony is not impacted by all the things the rest of the company does. Like in 2014, right? They shut down, or 2013, 2014, they shut down the PC division. So no more tablets. I mean, no more laptops, no more PCs. The viral, gone. They shut down other plants. They sold buildings. Yet through all these shutdowns, the stock went like to junk bond status. So throughout all these turmoils the company is going through, the PlayStation division themselves, the gaming sector themselves, they created a PS4. They created the Slim. They created the Pro. They created the VR. They bought marketing rights to the biggest games that are out there. You know, Call of Duty, Destiny, Red Dead Redemption, Batman. They somehow were able to keep Street Fighter off Xbox. You know? Stuff like that. They got support from indies and just a whole slew of other stuff. While they're doing all that, they still have the money to invest in their first party, and they're coming out with a lot of first party content. You know, a lot of new IPs. Horizon Zero Dawn, Order 1886, Ghost of Tsushima. They revamped God of War, The Last of Us 2. You know, they're helping out indie developers, Lost Solo Side. Tons of VR games. So it's clear all the issues Sony had as a company that Kaz Hirai was working on did not impact PlayStation in any way. PlayStation still did what it had to do. You know, it's not perfect by far. You know, there's still things, you know, we need. We need name change for those that want to do that. It's missing backwards compatibility, which I don't think you're going to get it with this console. I think you're going to get it with the PlayStation 5 because I think this will be built with backwards compatibility in mind. I don't think Sony wants to let Microsoft have that advantage going towards the next gen. This gen, I don't think Sony cares about backwards compatibility because it hasn't proved detrimental to the sales of the PlayStation 4. And I understand. I'm not trying to, you know, side with the company. I'm just talking reality. PlayStation, you know, Xbox had backwards compatibility since 2015. That's 3 years, a little, you know, just about 3 years. You know, I think they did it in the summer of 2015. So we're about to hit 3 years of Xbox One having backwards compatibility. It didn't change the landscape of what's happening. Sony still kept outselling, well, PlayStation still kept outselling Xbox significantly since 2015, like drastically since 2015, right? EA Access didn't change anything, you know? And I'm not saying these things are important. They're good services and whatever. I think PlayStation, Sony will implement backwards compatibility with the PS5. I just don't think that's their priority now because it hasn't really changed anything for them. People are still buying primarily PlayStation over Xbox, despite the lack of BC. Sad to say, that's just how business work, you know? People says right here, not everybody cares about backwards compatibility. That is true, you know? But I think it's a good feature to have and not want than to want and not have. And I think some people will take advantage of it. I think Sony should definitely do what Microsoft does. And when they do add backwards compatibility with the PS5, be able to enhance the games as well. So provide backwards compatibility enhancements to make the games look better. But yeah. So overall, this whole Sony's doomed. I don't know why, but every year it happens like clockwork. But they're stuck with the information of 2014. Both companies are doing phenomenal. They're getting tons of money, which means expect to see lots of products from these guys. And of course, it's gonna go help towards development of new consoles, but expect to see new content. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna see new content this E3, but they have the money uh, to make games, which is phenomenal, and that's ultimately the whole point. Which leads to the next topic, which I don't have added, but let me look through something. Let me see something crazy. Uh, Corey says, Jesus, Rock, you really know how to attract misinformed bots. Here's my question. Here's a good point. Here's a good point about misinformation. And I'm going to add a part two. So there was one user, he might even have a YouTube channel. And I don't think he's not trolling, because looking at this conversation, he was respectful. He didn't insult nobody. But he has a concern that PlayStation sold, at the end of the holiday, 76 million consoles. Yet over the holiday, 55 million games were sold. All right. He says something's wrong, because if you have 76 million consoles out there, how can you only have 55 million games sold? In his mind, he feels if you have 73, well, he used the number 76, so we'll stick with that. He says if you have 76 million consoles, there should be 76 million game sales. When you have at least one game sold. If every console owner bought one game, you should have 76 million sales, right? So when he said that, and he's primarily an Xbox guy, I said to myself, I looked at him. I read the tweet and I'm thinking, and I read the tweet and I'm hearing the conversation. He's not trolling. He's not being disrespectful. He is legitimately bringing up a concern. And I said to myself, he obviously is interested in the industry. He's interested in the hobby. He has a serious concern. But I'm thinking, why did he ask that question when it's obvious why you have 76 million consoles, but the actual game sales was 55 million, right? And I'm thinking, there's no way he couldn't get that answer to himself. So I'm thinking, the truth is, depending on the podcast he listens to, he's not going to get educated to answer that question, right? Shout out to my man Lionel. So $10 super chat. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, rocking out with me. He says, what if the Xbox 360 never happened? Do you think the cell processor in the PS3 could have pushed better performing games last gen? And do you think we would have had a stronger PS4 this gen? Network would suck though. I don't know. From you know what it is? I don't think cell processor would have survived either way, because PC games were easily developed for. Cell processor was a pain in the ass, and I think in the end, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze for cell processor. And also Sony was losing money, because when they designed the cell processor, it wasn't just for the PlayStation. They wanted that to be like the main processor for PCs, laptops, or every device out there that uses a processor. Go with the cell for better performance, but nobody was signing on to that. Everybody was jumping on the dual core, quad core. So that was already a lost battle. So I don't think it's so much Xbox that killed it. It was just the industry as a whole. Everybody was jumping on the quad core. It was easier to program for. And while the cell processor was more powerful, the amount of performance you got in comparison to the work to do it, again, it's a classic case of juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Right? So now back to my other topic, my other point. So 76 million, he expected 76 million sales. And I'm wondering, how come he doesn't see the obvious? Now I'm explaining to you what the obvious is. The reason why and this is across all platforms, you will never see a console have 1-for-1 console game sales. Never. You're not going to see over a holiday season, if there's 50 million consoles, you got 50 million game sales. You're never going to see that, right? I'm going to tell you why. Let's use the Xbox community for an example, right? Excuse me. Throat is a little dry. All right, I'm going to explain why. Let's take the people who bought the Xbox One X, right? We'll use my man Zaire. Next Gen 720. Damn, dog. We'll use my boy. All right, next Gen 720. Okay, my boy. All right, he has an Xbox One X. right? Before the Xbox One X, he had the Xbox One S. And before the Xbox One S, he had the original Xbox One. So he, at a minimum, bought 3 consoles, right? Is he buying 3 copies of a game every time he buys a game? Obviously not. He's not buying 3 copies of a game. He's not doing that. But he bought 3 consoles. So right off the bat, Zaire is contributing to the lower ratio of Xbox, because those 3 consoles he bought counts towards the total overall sales of the hardware for Microsoft, but he's not buying a game per console. He's buying 1 game, despite him owning 3 consoles throughout his period. And that's assuming if he only has 1 Xbox One X. If he has 2, then you're talking about 4. Look at Tim Dog. Tim Dog has 3 in his house. Or he has like 2 Xbox One X and 1S. He has like 3 or 4 consoles. I think in his lifetime, he bought maybe 7 or 8 consoles, Xbox One consoles, because he keeps replacing them. He'll buy like 2 or 3 original Xbox Ones. And then when the S came out, he replaced those 3 with another 3. And now the One X comes out, he replaced those 3 with another 3. That's about 9 consoles that Tim Dog bought this gen. But he's not buying 9 copies of the same game. So that 1-for-1 ratio is screwed. His is like 1 game for 9 console ratio. All right? Another thing. Many PlayStation owners, that is not their primary platform. You got PC gamers who play on PC. That is their preferred platform. They have the PlayStation for the exclusives. So the majority of games that they're buying is on PC. PlayStation is the one-off game exclusive that they want to play. So the PC gamers who treat, or even Xbox gamers too, who treat the PlayStation as a secondary platform, they're ruining the attach ratios and the 1-for-1 ratios of the consoles because they're not buying a lot of games. You see? So when you have a console that sells a lot, it's a combination of people whose preference is PlayStation, people who bought more than 1 PlayStation. For example, if you bought the PlayStation Vanilla, right? Those of you in the chat, many of you bought a PlayStation, right? The Vanilla when it first came out. And then you guys upgraded to the Pro. You bought 2 consoles, but you're only buying 1 game. So your is not a 1-for-1 ratio. And then many of us game share. So that right there is 1 game being shared between 2 people that has 2 platforms. So imagine if you got 2 people, both of them had the original PS4, and then both of them upgraded to the Pro. That's 4 console sales. And that they game share, they're buying 1 game. So they bought 1 game, 4 console sales in their lifetime. That's why you're not going to get that. You're not going to get a 1-for-1 sales. And then also include people who bought another console just because. For example, there's people who bought the Slim because it's the newer base model PlayStation, and they traded in their Vanilla because it's older. So it's a perfect time to get rid of the Slim before it breaks or wears out, whatever. They figure, hey, it's kind of like a refresh. Let me refresh the console now that I got this new one. You got that. Then you got people who bought a new console because they want 2 or 3 in their house. So you got 2 or 3 PlayStations in people's house. They're only buying 1 game. And then you got the people whose console broke, so they went out and bought another one. That's 2 consoles they bought. All right? To me, stuff like that, serious conversations like that, is where the YouTube community could do a better job. Whether it's on PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo, for the subscribers, for the viewers, for you guys. That's why I don't like to make bait videos with bullshit information. Because some of you may take that as real information, and then you go out there on Twitter and talk to people, and then the people are going to look at you like a dumbass, and then you're thinking, damn, but this is what I got from Puerto Rock. Damn, Puerto Rock made me look stupid. That's why I don't do bullshit information or try to tell you guys bullshit information. It doesn't help you guys, Now, granted, we could pop out shit, entertainment, multiplayer podcasts, we wild out. But I think there's a time when we start preaching real information, we truly have to be honest with our community. We don't want our community to look like a bunch of idiots. You know what I'm saying? That way, when people on Twitter have these conversations, they'll be like, damn, why is PlayStation at 76 million but only 55 million game sales? They'll be like, oh, wait a minute, I know why. because people have owned more than one consoles. People traded in their consoles, got the new one, game sharing, even use games. There's a lot of factors that will prevent the 1-for-1 ratio, And I think, if you're a podcast and you're a YouTuber that talks about gaming, talks about the industry, talks about sales, talks about developers, talk about things that go good, things that go bad, media bias, everything in between, there's a time where you want to make sure the information you push is legit information, legit knowledge. Because at the end, the people that listen to you are going to use that. They're learning from you. They're trusting that you're providing good info to help them learn about the industry. And that's what it is. Let me look through right here. Let me see what we got here. Hey, P-Rock, what do you think about PS4 getting downside across the consoles? I'd say it's about time, I guess, because you guys are paying for a premium console, right? That's PlayStation version of their premium console. But not everybody's going to buy a 4K TV. Some people want the Pro for the better performance, Me personally, I would have bought the Pro if that console would have provided 1080p with all the bells and whistles, locked at 60. I would have bought the Pro under that condition. Under that condition, fuck yeah. Lock 1080p, bells and whistles, 60 frames, hell yeah. For like 350, hell yeah. But the 4K jump and all that, I'm not really too keen. I'll wait for next gen when it's properly done across all platforms. All right. But I think it's good to have super sampling. I never seen it, but from right here, it makes the game look phenomenal on a 1080p. I read that and I see that from a lot of Xbox gamers because Xbox has it. What's good is they implement the super sampling at the hardware level. So now all games. So I guess before it was a feature specifically to games. So you had to put it, the developer would have to do it per game. But now this feature does it for all games automatically. So it's automatic. It's not to a hardware level, which is good for developers. It's good for, makes it easy. The system takes care of it, But there was, I think I read on the Sony websites, it may not work for some games. I guess that's the little caveat, the little catch-22. So that way, in case some games don't look good, they could say, hey, we mentioned it. Not all games will do that. Somebody mentioned, what do I think about Naughty Dog staff leaving? I don't know. I don't know what to say to that. I will say this, though. Let's remember all these people, all these players in the game, developers, CEOs, whatever. This is their job, right? And just like anybody else who does a job, if you work for a company, right, and you've done a phenomenal job, you've done great things, that's stuff that you put on your resume. And when other companies take notice, they're going to probably want to hire you and pay you more money. Well, it's time to go. It is a job. It is a career. So when people leave for better opportunities, you can't automatically say, oh my God, this company's screwed, or things are going bad, or why did they leave? Remember, sometimes I think gamers look at the gaming industry as if it's a charity. You guys, this is not a charity. These guys are, granted, they love making these games, but make no mistake, they're putting food on the table, they're buying cars, they're going on vacations, they're buying clothes, they're buying electronics. They want to live a nice lifestyle. And when they have the opportunity to go somewhere else and make more money because their reputation established that, that's what they're going to do. So let's not forget about that, The writers, they've done a phenomenal job with Naughty Dog games, and they probably have a better opportunity somewhere else. So you can't blame them with that. I just hope that the writers that are taking over, they learned from these writers that are leaving, and hopefully they could continue the tradition of good storytelling at Naughty Dog. Let's see right here. Let's see. Why did Furious one? Why did Sony not make an Elite controller? Maybe because they don't feel they need to. I don't think maybe they don't feel they need to. I'll be honest. I have an Xbox and I have no interest in paying $150 for a controller. Like, you bugging. And believe me, I don't even like the D-pad on this one. I mean, but that's nothing wrong for everybody else. It, I don't know. I think maybe Microsoft has the better fan base in terms of buying peripherals from Xbox compared to Sony. I mean, Sony's peripheral. In fact, the number one sold peripheral of 2017 was the PlayStation 4 DualShock, the DualShock 4 controller. That's what's crazy. But I don't think Sony's interested in creating that business revenue. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Let's see what else we got up in here. What other questions we got? The Hunt Showdown. That game's looking like straight up fuego. The Hunt, that's that new Crytek game. Here's my problem. Crytek makes amazingly beautiful games, but the gameplay sucks. Like, I never really liked Crysis gameplay. Beautiful looking game, especially on PC at the time when it was 1080p and it was hard to run it even above 30 because you needed a beast PC. Beautiful looking game. But the gameplay is, I didn't like the gameplay. I just don't like it. Rise? Let's not even talk about that. It's just, I'm just nervous about the gameplay. I hope the game can do it. Man, Rock, do a show on Saturday so I can super chat. I might break out Saturday. Things might change when I come in March to Germany. I may have to do more stuff on the weekends. Because on the weekdays, Germany's like 6-7 hours ahead. So in order to do a podcast, I will have to do it like 2 a.m. over there. Yeah, I'm not doing that. What else? We really need 60 FPS on all games. I wish. I hope. We'll see. But at the end of the day, developer, if the game's playable at 30, they'll lock it at 30, and they will boost the graphics all day. That's just the reality. Will the PS5 have an Ultra Blu-ray player for increased space, or maybe go a Switch route and require you to download part of the game? No, they're going to go with Ultra 4K Blu-ray player. They'll go with that. It'll be dirt cheap by then. It'll be common. It'll be normal. I don't think Sony saw going with a 4K Blu-ray player now in the middle of it as a strategy to sell consoles. So I don't think they want to invest extra money. I mean, some people could say that's cheap, that's wrong, but in the end, the console's selling, and I think more people stream. I also think Sony wants to stay away from video files because that hurt the PlayStation 3. A lot of people who bought PlayStation 3s in the beginning, especially because it was $600 compared to an $1,800 Blu-ray player with video files. People who wanted the best high definition quality, and they were able to get it at a fraction of the cost of an actual Blu-ray player. But the problem is they don't play games. So all these console sales and no game sales at all. So Sony probably was like, hey, we're not going to do this again. We're not going to cross this bridge to where we sell a PlayStation 4 Pro with a 4K Blu-ray player, and that's the only reason why it's selling. We're not making PlayStations to sell movies and tabs, But now I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Microsoft doing that. In fact, I think Microsoft did a phenomenal job with the Xbox One S. It's just a different approach, but I think the PlayStation 5 will have it. P-Rock, did you hear Crash is coming to Switch and PC apparently? I say good. The franchise deserves it. It belongs to Activision anyway. Did phenomenal on the PlayStation. P-Rock, about to eat a lot of sausages and beers. Whoa, pause. Nah, but yeah, the bratwurst, kielbasa, and the beers. Oh, Oktoberfest. Woo! I'm so looking forward. Hey, for all you guys out there in Europe, I'm gonna enjoy my time. I'll be out there for 3 years. The only thing I'm kind of nervous is just my podcast, because obviously I won't be able to hold it at the same time on Wednesdays, because it would be like 2 a.m. over there, and then I have to go to work the next day. We'll just see how that pans out. Maybe I might make the sacrifice to maintain the time. Maybe. We'll see what's up. All right? We'll try to keep consistent. I'll put in that work. I mean, hell, staying up late one day a week, on a Wednesday, do my podcast at 2 a.m, go to sleep at 3. Who needs sleep anyway, right? Thoughts on the Super Bowl? Woo! Go Eagles! I only say that because I can't stand the Patriots. Listen, I can't stand Boston teams. I am anti-Boston through and through because I'm a Yankee fan. And if anybody knows anything about the Yankees, we hate Boston Red Sox. So I hate any team associated with Boston. I don't even like Boston baked beans. I don't even when I go to Dunkin' Donuts, I don't even want to look at Boston cream pie. I don't want to hear nothing about Boston. I don't like the Celtics. I don't like the Pats. I don't even watch hockey, and I hate the Bruins. I don't like Boston. I don't like New England teams. Don't like them at all, you know? So screw it all. No Boston anything. All right? Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, Patriots, screw them all. Fuck them. Can't stand them. All right? So anyone but Brady, anyone but the Pats. All right? Another thing, since the Eagles won, I can talk shit now. Because now I can say, if you guys are into football and know how the divisions are broken out, the NFC East is the greatest division in football. Because the NFC East is the only division where every team has a Super Bowl championship. The only team. The only division. Every team in that division has a Super Bowl ring. Nobody else, no other division can say that. None. So the NFC East is another beast. It's the beast of the NFL. And that's all I have to say about that. All right? What if you were stationed? Oh, it's funny. What if you had to be stationed? Funny story, you mentioned that, Aralis, because I had the opportunity to get stationed in Massachusetts. This was 2015, like November or October 2015. I'm stationed here in Camp Lejeune, right, in North Carolina, and I was with 6th Marine Regiment. So I called the monitor. The monitor sounds like a video game. Now watch, everybody's going to be like, ooh, the monitor. Well, the monitor is a position in the military, or in the Marine Corps specifically, where they tell you where to go. They cut your orders. They tell you your assignments, right? Especially in the specific field. Like my specific field is communication maintenance. So my monitor, you know, he called me and he gave me 3 options to go to different units. One option was to go to 29 Palms, California. Not doing that. That's the desert. Cut that out. Another option was, well, he gave me 4 options. To stay on Lejeune with 2 units, base Camp Lejeune and 2nd Intelligence Battalion, which is where I'm with now. And then the 4th option was 25th Marines in Massachusetts. As soon as he said Massachusetts, I'm like, hell no. Because I'm a Yankee fan and I'm a Giants fan. That ain't going to work. I'm not going to subject myself to 3 years living in Massachusetts. Not happening. You know, and I'm not going to 29 Palms, California. Screw the desert. I still here in June, right? And it worked out because now I got orders to Germany, and it's going to be fantastic, right? So anyway, fuck them. Fuck Boston teams. The people of Boston, unless you're a Pats fan, then you know, screw y'all. No, I'm just kidding. I don't roll. They all lost, and I'm happy. All right, Puerto Rock in Lederhausen Pause. What in Lederhausen? Is that German? I gotta learn German. It's gonna be interesting. What's up, Daniel? What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for the support. And I think we're about to wind it down because I think it's time for some games. What do you guys think? 166 people watching. Damn, but only 86 likes. Come on, people, hook me up. Spread the knowledge. I'm the professor. I got, you know, whiteboards and all that stuff. I preach the truth. You know, hit that like button. Hook me up. Let everybody know, you know, that we're doing this. You know, that's the best thing you could do for me. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. But anyway, P-Rock, why didn't you buy a Switch? I'm going to buy a Switch. I'm just waiting for more games to come out. That's all. I'm interested in Metro Prime. I hope they localize Phantasy Star Online. Really looking into that. So, yeah, like button exists. Come on, you're killing me here. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So let me pop this chat out because it kind of messed up. But yeah, so I will get a Switch. This is not since the GameCube, PlayStation, and OG Xbox have I owned 3 platforms. That was the last time I actually owned 3 platforms, and it's gonna happen again. And I'm looking forward to getting a Switch. I'm not gonna play a mobile. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm never, but most likely it'll be docked. But I'm looking forward. My man D said, "Fuck the Giants." No, time to boot you. Blocked. No, I'm just kidding, D. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get the Switch. This gen's been fantastic, and I'm gonna be a three console owner once again. Haven't done that, like I said, not since the PS2 gen. But I'm looking forward to some of the games Switch has, and I'm looking to VR. Man, there's a lot of gaming, and I'm older than ever. And I'll be honest, I love this gen. I think this gen of gaming has been, aside from all the bullshit of always online, droughts, and just all the nonsense we talk about, you know the crumb side, you know and stuff like that, the bullshit that we go through. In reality, when you just plug off of Twitter, when you plug off of YouTube, and you sit back and play your games, this gen has been phenomenal. I think across the board for PC gamers, console gamers, it's just phenomenal. And I can't wait to get the Switch and stuff like that. I'm looking forward to seeing more games that Xbox come. You know, is awesome, right? PR, you should have used that money you spent on Xbox on Switch. I only got the Xbox for $60. It was a steal. It's a great steal. When is our next class, Professor P Rock? I don't know. Whenever some people need them college credits to get their degrees, we'll see. We'll see if anybody makes a video on some crazy shit. But so far, I haven't seen too much crazy shit other than the annual Sony is doomed. That I'm not even gonna go too hard on that because they're gonna do it again next year. They do that every year. It's just crazy. Every year, it trips me out. Over 100 likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. My friends, my family. Uh, but with that, I think let me see. Let me see if I see any big questions that I missed. There was a lot. You guys were active. I appreciate you guys for rocking out with me and enjoying this time. Let's see. Packing the act in the back of the yard. Oh man, you crazy horses call soccer. Yeah, it's football. Yeah, there's football and there's soccer, right? And yes, when I'm in Germany, I'm gonna call it soccer. So they be like, hey, can you pass the football? There ain't no damn football around here. I see a soccer ball. I'll pass you that. How many people you think I'm gonna piss off if I say that? How do you hate Boston cream? Because it's from Boston. They better call it Connecticut cream or something. All right? I don't even like Boston baked beans. Nothing Boston in this house. All right? Everything Boston is illegal. All right? I don't even acknowledge the Boston Tea Party ever happened. Nothing happened in Boston. All right? for hopefully the Americans, my American followers understood that joke. People, you guys in Europe, you're like, Boston Tea Party. What the fuck? What the fuck is he talking about? Boston Market? Nope. They better rename it New Jersey Market. They better stop. There you go, Bronx baked cream. Bronx cream. We're gonna rename it, just like how we renamed the French fries to Freedom fries. Yeah, somebody mentioned the Freedom fries. We're gonna rename all that stuff. We're gonna call it Bronx Market. We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it a proven lion or fraud is your boy. Let me tell you something about next gen. Oh, you talking about me and next gen? Love Boston Market's trash. We're gonna call it Bronx Market. All that stuff. We're gonna rename all that shit. Next gen is I'm gonna tell you the secret. What if Germans like Boston? There's nothing to like in Boston. So, they got the best beer. Why? You think they're gonna drink Boston Lager? I doubt European care about American beer. P-Rock, why do you think we haven't heard shit about Resident Evil 2 remake? I don't know. That did fall off the map. Interesting topic. Dead Rising. Vancouver, a lot of staff got laid off, and I guess they're toning down Dead Rising, the next one. I don't know, man. I'm really nervous for Capcom. I'm like, damn, because they only had a few successes and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going on, man. But why we haven't heard nothing about remake, I don't know. Same thing with Deep Down. I don't know. Insecure Boston Pizza. Is there such thing as Boston Pizza? I heard of Chicago pizza. Dead Rising 4 did not do well. Yeah, it did not do well at all. It's just I don't think it's a good franchise. I'll be honest. Dead Rising 4, Dead Rising franchise. I just never. I played one and it was cool at the time, but this was like 2006. After that, I was like, man, this franchise is trash. Going for the women there. For in Boston chicks. I don't know. Maybe I heard the strip clubs are nice. I'll give you guys that. I heard the strip clubs in Massachusetts off the hook. Yeah. Boston Pizza is a thing. It's a line of restaurants focused on pizza. Boston Pizza? That is terrible. That doesn't even match. New York has the best pizza. Boston Pizza, man. What? I heard Chicago. I don't know. You guys in Boston probably messed that up too. All right? Deadline 2 was a good game. It was great. What's that other game that came out? Dying Light. I guess they're adding new content again for its 3-year anniversary. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible. It's kind of hard to mess up pizza. Oh, no, it's not hard. Not hard. I tasted some terrible pizza in my time. Terrible pizza. Don't ask me how, because all it is dough, tomato sauce, and cheese. 3 ingredients. And I think they put a little oil, but it's not that crazy. Gyro from Fordham Road. My man's from the Bronx. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. All right. Time for me to go. What time is it? It's 8:30. And I got to play some games. I'm thinking about Monster Hunter. And yes, I'm playing Call of Duty single-player campaign because I love World War storylines. And the story single-player game is nice. So you know what? I'm going to finish Call of Duty single-player campaign. And then I'm going to jump on Monster Hunter. I'm going to log on. I'll probably create a party if you guys want to jump in. Bullshit. And stuff like that. I'm out. To all you dudes that support the super chat, thank you so much. Thank you so much for showing up. Don't forget the like button. For those of you that did hit the like button, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for getting the word out. Podcast tomorrow, most definitely. I'm going to have another special guest on the show. Stuff like that. But, hey, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate for you showing up and hanging out with me. All right, pineapple pizza, no. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. It's like Kevin Hart, pineapples, bitch. Pineapples. Like, you don't do it. That means you stop. But anyway, this is your boy Porter Rock 77. To my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Thank you so much. I appreciate everything you guys do. I hope you enjoyed the show. I will see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. with the crew, with the Messiah of Xbox, J-Dubs, the most toxic gamer. Hopefully, other members will show up. My PSN is PorterRock77, just like the name you see here. And it's also the same name on Xbox. Keep it fluid, and it's the same across all spectrums of gaming. Except for Nintendo, where it will be like AB11569-2939556-39393939. It is what it is. Peace, people. Deuces.